Are bass players from an alternate timeline where time doesn't exist? What do music and comedy have in common? And a special tiny stall concert from the kings and queens of funk music. Hazard to your booty. All that and more today on the Number 2 Show. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's great to be here. Big shout out to all my fans, the Dingleberries, the Bowl Patrol. Just let your bowl glow. Yes, that's right, Bowl Patrol. I got a great episode for you today, man. I am so excited. I have been marking my calendars. I've been pumping people up. Got a huge episode here for you today. Maybe my favorite musical performance of all time since we started the show. So let's get it started. I want to get going because I want to get to it. And right now, Riz is at Disneyland. I normally do 15 minutes with Riz as a segment, but guess what? I got something, dare I say, better. I got 15 minutes with Hazard. Hey, welcome to the show, Ryan and Pat from the band Hazard to Ya Booty.
What up, RDW? How you doing, baby?
I'm doing great, man. I'm here with two of the members of the predominant funk band. They'll put so much funk up in your trunk that you will have to go to a proctologist to have it removed.
Man,
we have relationships with those proctologists, so
you guys have there's Hazard to Your Booty punch cards.
Yeah, we're basically feeders to those individuals.
We had 10%.
Yeah, so I'm here with you guys, and you're going to play some songs for us in a little bit. We're bringing the whole band in here, but I wanted to spend some time with you guys. My relationship here, give me a little bit of Hazard to Your Booty through the glory hole.
There it is. There we go.
Through the booty hole, if you will. I have a long-standing relationship with you guys. You're friends of mine. You were the house band on an old show. You were already a dominant funk band, and you joined our little startup show called STL Up Late, which was St. Louis's version of kind of a hybrid of The Tonight Show and Saturday Night Live. I was a cast member and a writer, and you guys were our house band. And man, you cannot stress the importance of having a house band when you're doing a live show to keep the energy up. You guys kept the energy in the room pumping before, during, and after the show, and man, and you become some of my best friends, and so it's really cool to have you guys here, man.
Yeah, and we just want to thank you for picking us up off the streets, and really taking us in, and the charity that you gave us to be able to contribute to such a prestigious.
We were rehearsing in a cardboard box when you found us for STL Up Late. So
it's true. You guys lived in the sewers.
You really saved our lives.
You were the best funk band in the sewers of St. Louis.
Well, that's how you get the funk. That's what the most stank is.
That's where the funk comes from.
Yeah,
baby.
Funk is filthy.
Yeah,
you can't be too clean with the funk.
Can't. You do
let's do a quick Bow Patrol riff. Ready? I'm going to do just let your Bow Patrol.
Just let it shine through.
It's got that shiny bow.
And there ain't nothing you can do.
It's the number 2. No, it's the number 2.
Number 2.
Sure. Just me and you.
Yeah, man, what a riff.
Yeah, baby.
Pull that clip.
Yep, that's it.
Just for me to jack off to.
Why would you jack off when there's all these glory holes around? We've told you, anything goes through these holes will be serviced.
I know, but unfortunately, when I drilled them out, I forgot. I have a very aggressive chode, and it's not long enough to go to penetrate, and it's too wide to go through. So I'm left to my own devices over here.
Again, we have some relationships with some specialist doctors. They're not all proctologists, so if you need a name, we'll send you the right place.
Thank you very much. So let's talk about, I just want to shoot the shit with you guys about life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. But what I do want to talk about something we were talking about before we went live, which was bass player time. Pat is the bass player for Hazard to Your Booty and songwriter, Ryan is the lead singer and also a songwriter.
Contrary to popular belief, as me being the individual who has the melanin in the band, I would typically be the bass player, but
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to do a little bit of role reversal. So,
You're really breaking down barriers.
I know. It's
Letting Whitey play the bass.
Yeah. A lot of bands wouldn't accept me back in the day, but there's a lot of
I went even further.
down.
I went a little bit further, and we didn't just get a white person. We got a Romanian white person.
Oh,
so
my
there's some
God.
culture there that we can dig into. So
That's actually wider than white.
Can you say, if you're Romanian, can you say gypsy, or is that still not allowed? I don't know the rules.
The Romanians and the Gypsies are generally two separate people.
Oh, there we go. Cut that out, John.
yeah, you don't want to upset your Romanian listeners.
There are
here,
Roma in Romania, as there are a lot of places, but the Romanians that I know are not Roma.
Well, thank you for playing along with my bit. That was very nice of you. I do want to talk about. There is actually a documentary out about Pat breaking down the color barriers and all the struggles he went through. It's basically the opposite of like the Jackie Robinson story. It's just a white guy breaking through to become a bass player for a funk band. It's very inspiring.
Chef's kiss.
People were like, "What are you doing here? You're here to play flute, right?"
You put that bass away. You weren't born for this.
That's our thing.
That's right. I just want to play my mama. I just want to play bass.
And that's that line that really got me too. So, you know, when he said that, I was like, yeah, he's the one.
Yeah.
He's the one.
Yeah, it was weird that he brought the documentary to the audition.
It was weird, but at the same time, I was like, it's provocative.
It is.
So
I wanted y'all to know these barriers had been coming down. And well, but how did they make the documentary about me joining the band and I brought it to the audition?
Well, I don't know, man. It was your documentary. You were filming it live and you just brought the dailies for everybody to look at. It's Inside Baseball. That means the daily shoots, guys. But we were talking earlier. You were a little late today. Not a big deal. But you said that, my last episode I was talking about living with a chronically late partner, and you said you were on bass player time.
That's right. That's not a thing that I made up. Bass player time is a real thing. Anybody who's been in a band knows that the bass player has trouble with punctuality.
facts.
That's true.
Facts.
It's just a thing. When you make your whole mind and body focused on the groove, locking in the rhythm, and making harmony with the rest of the band, then you just can't look at a clock. It's just not. Those two things are mutually exclusive.
Well, you know, everyone has like that bank of they have to focus on one thing, you know, and like when you do that a lot on your on time, it's like when you get those times outside of that, you're just like, I don't need to focus on that. And so for Pat, time is very important. Timing is very important in the mix of the band when we're in it, when we're in the trenches doing it. But outside of that, Pat's like, time is just a construct.
Okay.
It's made up. It's made up.
It's made up. It doesn't even exist.
It's like credit.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that a lot of late people, and myself included, were just optimistic, right? They're like, nothing could go wrong. I'm going to hit every green light. I'm not going to hit any traffic. So, 5 minutes from here to the strip clubs in Illinois, that'll do it.
Yeah. Boom, 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 bing, boom, 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 bing, boom, green, ba, 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 boom, bing, boom, green, ba, 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 boom. So what I'm gathering is that for a bass player, there's only so much room for time in your life, and you reserve that room for keeping the time in the band.
Exactly.
That's 100%.
Exactly.
You can't bring a linear time into this.
No, absolutely not.
You can't bring an hourglass into a bass player's life.
Well, time is also relative based on the beats per minute of the song. So if someone's like, show up at 4:30 p.m. I'm like, well, what's the BPMs?
I've read that, dude. The closer you fly to the funk, time actually slows down.
It's true because it's got gravity.
Yeah,
a
dude.
true bass line has gravity, slows down time.
You ever seen the movie Funker Stellar? It's all about that.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey is another white bass player who gets in just because of his tan.
100%.
And then he funks so close to the sun that he comes back and his he comes back and the funk is full grown. Well, he missed the song has already been written, the album's been out, and he missed the whole. And he's sad.
Well, you know what's interesting about Funkadelic is that, you know, Matthew McConaughey, he went in Matthew McConaughey and he came back out Matthew McConaughey, hey.
He went in Matthew McConaughey and he came out Matthew McConaughey. Good God.
And that's how you become anointed.
And that's how it happened. And that was based on Pat's life. A lot of people don't know that.
Not a lot of people don't.
So you guys are going to play some songs later, but I just want to chat. Like, how's life going for Haz? You know, we kind of talked about the work-life balance of being in a band. You guys have been, how long have you been a band? When did Hazard form? Give me just a quick
man, this is a great
synopsis.
Question. This is a great question.
Okay.
Pat, do you want to take it?
Field it.
Well, Hazard formed, without myself, but Hazard formed in the year 2000. In Kirksville, Missouri, on the campus of Truman State University.
Some people may know it as Northeast Missouri State if you're an old head.
That's true. And the original lead singer of the band was Ryan's identical twin brother, Ben.
Look just like me, only less pretty.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I've met him.
But similar, very similar.
Very similar.
And so Ben had been singing with the band for a while, but he had to leave town for a while for an extended period. I don't know where he was going, but he, you know, so the band was like, well, you have an identical twin brother. They got to have genetically the same pipes.
Literally, that's what they said. They was like, you guys have the same genes. So your vocal cords were developed the same way. So you have to sound exactly the same. And I happened to be at the time I was majoring in kinesiology or exercise science, as you will. So we had some, you know, and so I was like, well, I like where your logic is, but that is not how human development works. But you're in luck because I do sing very well. And I'm actually better than my brother. So
damn,
let the folks know. If you go back and listen to the first album, and then every album after that, you'll know that I am a superior singer.
It's hard to
your brother's on the first album.
Ben's 100%. Yeah, he's on the first album. He was the lead singer on the first album.
Damn, dude.
And then Ben came back, and the band had two lead singers for a time as well. Ben and Ryan both singing lead, which got to be crazy. But thinking about Ryan not being a lead singer is crazy because he's such a natural at it. He's a natural talent, natural stage presence, the riz, the charisma, you know, like he got it all. So it seems like he was born to it. I'm not going to
put anything in your glory hole.
You both got a good amount of riz. You're good guys. You're funny dudes. You're excellent. That was the thing that I was actually impressed by when you were the house band for a comedy show is you guys had comedy chops. I could incorporate you in bits. Sometimes you'd lay down a bass line for me and enhance a bit. If I was bombing out there, like you guys always had my back.
Very rarely did that happen. You know,
rarely, but on occasion. Or if I was just in rehearsal and I'm like, this bit needs something. You guys always were like, what if we throw a little stank on it for you?
Yeah. I think it's a similar mindset between comedy and musicianship, honestly. I mean, like, I agree. It's creative. You're trying to get a reaction from an audience. You try different things until something works, and you got to do it for a long time before you get that instinct.
I agree, man. I've always said, and I'm curious because you're both songwriters, and the funk music especially, it's got to be the rhythm is everything, right?
The rhythm, the groove is everything, and then the lyrics in our band in the way that we approach it. You know, we always start with the bottom up, you know, and with that bass, that drum, and that groove. Like if we don't have that, and if we're not feeling it, then it's not going to materialize like we want it to, and it's just going to be too difficult to really get in the pocket and write something. But like when we do have something, when we do feel it, I mean, there was a time where we wrote a song called The Precipice of Human Ability. Yeah. And we were in this tiny little room in one of Pat's homes that you know he was renting out, and I think it was Club 5x5. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pat.
That's right.
And that song literally came out of nowhere. Like we were just grooving. Pat had this bass. Eric came in with the drums, and I was just like, man, we cannot not do something with this. And it was one of the moments where everything became physical. And like when a sound becomes physical to us and you can touch it, and we knew we had something. So like, I mean,
what does that
and
mean?
that's what we made the song about, is like how music is a type of magic that is a spell that can have a physical effect in the material world. And that, is emotion. It's, hips and butts moving. It's, but, the idea, we obviously put a humorous spin on it with the funk. So stank that the room smell funny and things like that,
And I used that song on my first, with your permission, on my first special.
Yeah, I was about to mention that, of course.
Young Grandpa, because I love that song so much. And it's funny that you organically brought that up, because that is something I wanted to talk about. Like, to me, comedy is kind of the same way. It's like you said, it's like the physical manifestation of, you said something about a spell, and I had another comedian, a friend of mine, Josh, said one time, he's like, hey, we're the closest things there are to real wizards.
I've always thought that about musician, magician. Yeah, same thing.
And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, we change people's blood pressure with words. Oh, yeah. He's like, you say certain words in a certain order in a certain way on an amplified microphone, and you get an involuntary reaction out of people. You cast a spell of laughter, or you cast a spell for people to dance, and it's like, never really, I don't want to get too artsy fartsy, because I understand I am a mall clown and we're doing a podcast in a shitter right now, but that's not lost on me. But I do think there's a little bit of truth in that, right? That,
of course.
We may not be levitatus funkadocious.
We can't be giving all the spells out like that. But I feel you on that, Ray, because the first time that I was performing, so I remember the first time I got in Hazard, my first 2 gigs were in Columbia, Missouri, at Mizzou. There was a place called the Blue Fugue, which is now the Music Cafe. And then the second night we played at Jesse Auditorium. And the first night, I remember I was nervous. I learned 40 songs in a week to cover for my brother, right? I jump up on stage, and from the first note I hit it, and then I seen these students from Mizzou and from the surrounding area singing the lyrics to these songs that we wrote. And I was like, hold on. They digging this shit so much that they know they've been listening to our shit. And so at that point I got this high, and I don't know if it's the same thing in comedy, but you get this high, and then
chase it the rest of your career.
Man, I felt invincible. And then after the show, I was signing, girls were coming up to me, they was opening their shirts, saying, hey, can you sign my chest and all that? So I was like, is this for real? They don't even know that I'm still a college student, right? Right up the road, an hour and a half up the road, Right. And then the second night we came and we opened up for Nappy Roots, and I was like, this is where I belong.
All my life,
I've been poor, but it really doesn't matter no more. Yeah, anyone knew why we act this way? Yeah,
but that's so beautiful, because that whole thing sparks from an idea. An idea for a joke, an idea for a song, and then it becomes, you make it physical. One of my, moments of that is when I wrote a song on a Friday. I kind of fleshed it out on a Saturday. I wrote a demo on a Sunday. We practiced it during the week, and a Friday, less than a week that the idea had been spawned, now people are dancing to this song at a live performance. It's so beautiful. It's such a spark. And, it's that same thing, but that's why I respect stand-up comedy so much.
Sure.
Because you go into a room where everybody is expecting you to make them laugh. And they, that is naturally going to put their defenses up. And you make them laugh anyway. That is amazing. Yeah. That is some real talent.
Well, and that's the thing about, I don't know if music's this way, but with stand-up, it's something that's, and when they don't know who you are, if they're not there to see you and you got to prove it.
Yeah.
It starts it's a collaborative thing that starts out as a combative experience.
Yes.
Because they're like, all right, funny man, you better be good.
Yeah. And you don't even look funny.
As you open them up with your spells you're casting, it becomes collaborative, where now they are participating in the rhythm of the joke, which is kind of what I was trying to get back to. There is a rhythm. That's why comedy should always be live, in my opinion. It's great to shoot a special and all that stuff, but because you have this combative, audience can smell fear on you. And I'm sure it's the same way with music. If you're not confident in your lyrics and your jams, it comes off as amateurish, and then the audience will turn on you so fast. So it's like, there's a line in the Precipice. The reason I chose that song is where I think it's like, and I might butcher your song and you can correct me, but it's like, What's the chorus like? Funk entertainer.
I am the groove elevator. I am the smooth operator. I am the funk innovator, the greatest entertainer of all time.
Yeah, and that gets me chubbed up. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, that's how it feels. Like when you're going out to film your special and you're laying it all on the line, and you know you're about to put this art out into the world to be judged by everyone. You have to go at it with an attitude of like humble, but also, yeah, I have to believe that I'm the greatest entertainer of all time, and because if they feel safe, if they feel like that you are good at your job and you're good at what you do, then they trust you, and when they trust you, that's when the magic happens, baby.
You show any insecurity in a live performance, and you're lost because they always, especially at the beginning, everybody wants to cross their arms and be like, "This band sucks." 100%. This comedian sucks, and I'm superior because I'm not laughing or grooving to this performance, But if you can sell it at that point, and asses, when you get the groove down, asses move involuntarily. Like when we're really doing a groove,
that's your spot.
I can literally see an ass move in front of me in a different way because I played a bass fill.
Yeah,
and
that
my ass, is Pat. A special feeling.
It is your ass.
It is. It's my ass. It works on me. It works on me. You'll see during the songs that you play
like
later.
Two alabaster Brunswick bowling balls rubbing together.
That's right.
I recognize that ass anywhere.
That ivory ass swaying in the breeze. Thank you, my Nubian king, my ebony prince.
What is that? Velvet?
Is that? That's a white chocolate fountain from Golden Corral, and it's spilling everywhere.
I just like that we're using alabaster all over the place today.
Yeah,
Me
man.
too.
Ebony and alabaster. Not quite the groove.
I'm the master of alabaster.
Yeah, baby.
To get back to the rhythm of it too, that's something that's interesting to me, and this is why I think songwriting and comedy have so much in common. And I think something that's funny to me that I've noticed being on the road, and it's probably, I'm sure it rings true with you guys, all comedians secretly want to be musicians.
And vice versa.
And all musicians secretly want to be comedians. That's absolutely true.
100% true. And I think the reason that is that we see there's a mirroring happening of skill sets that there's a mutual respect for. Because I've met so many comics. I met Gregory Alan Isaacoff, who's a good dude, great musician. I was backstage with him, and I didn't know him. Somebody got me back there, and it was me and Tina, and he's like, "You guys seem cool. You're not being weird, or like you're not fanning out." And somebody's like, "Oh, they're in the industry," and he goes, "Oh, you guys are musicians. That makes sense, And then the person goes, "No, they're comedians," and his eyes lit up. He goes, "You're a comedian?" I go, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Oh, fuck, dude, I got jokes in my phone. Can I, can I?" And he had a whole thing in his phone of jokes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, man, I own a farm in Colorado, and me and the lead singer of, not the Rembrandts, the lead singer of, who sings like Cleopatra, you know that song? Like, Cleopatra, da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't know. Anyway,
Sorry, I'm not familiar with that.
It's very Alabaster. But anyway, it's a very Alabaster band, okay? Lumineers, goddammit.
Oh, the Lumineers.
The Lumineers.
I actually got up and sung with them before.
Oh, you piece of shit.
At Peabody, yeah.
You piece of shit. They gave you stage time?
Yeah.
They are very white, though. You can attest to that.
Yeah, man.
I mean, they're literally called the Lumineers. What's whiter than that?
It's illuminating.
It's what whitening toothpaste is called, luminosity. But anyway, he said that the lead singer of that band and a few others go on the road for a year, and they all try to write 10 minutes of comedy. And then they meet at his barn, and he had a sign made called the Ha Ha Hole. And they invite all their friends and family, and they each do 10 minutes of stand-up and get judged. And I'm like, that's crazy. And he was like texting me jokes all year long.
Oh, man. That's actually incredible.
And it was like, this dude's mega talented. Where I'm like, dude, I'd kill to have one of your songs. I'd kill to be able to get up and sing with you guys. Like, I love, and the thing is like, there usually is talent that goes both ways. Like, you guys are funny. You guys have good senses of humor, and you have good timing, because I think timing and rhythm are a good part of it. I can sing a little bit. I can mimic what I hear. I don't have any musical ability.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that, because I've seen you do sketches.
We're just gonna forget about Long Titty.
Yeah, are we gonna?
Yeah.
I mean, we did like it. That came out of nowhere.
Hey, the name of the podcast, are we just gonna forget about Long Titty?
Yeah.
Write that down.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you do, and you have talent. And like, out of all the comedians that I do know, I have never seen anybody who had better musical talent than you.
Oh God,
No,
pull that clip, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But I have
Is
to
one
have
of you
somebody,
through the glory hole right now?
I have to have somebody. Yeah, I'm in a glory hole, baby. I gotta have somebody like count me in. You know what I mean? I need a real musician to be like, hey, I don't know what the 1s and 3s and 4. You just gotta be like, start now, and then I can mimic. You know, I can kind of figure it out from there. And then it's interesting to see, and I know a lot of comedians who have musical talent. I just went to Moon Tower and I saw like the dude named Chris Porter do Bob Seger, and he fucking crushed it. And I'm like, I think that, and the point I'm trying to get back to is the rhythm of things. Like when you write a joke and people don't understand this, I'm like, if I write a joke, there's a rhythm to the way I deliver the message. If it's da 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 da.
Yes.
Yep.
If you take one thing out and it becomes da 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 da,
Yeah.
the laugh goes away.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't explain it. It doesn't work. It's the same reason like when people are like, oh, you got to work clean. Just take this. You can't just take a word out. Every syllable matters, and if you take a word out, you got to replace it with a word that is of the same tempo and length, right? Mm-hmm. And it feels like a song. It's like an a cappella song, but it is a song. And I feel like, I talk with musicians all the time, that I do feel like there's some mirroring of the way the way a joke gets the involuntary reaction is the same way like a groove you guys are laying down.
Absolutely. Yeah. And bigger than that is the way a set would work, or the way a song works. You know, it's got a big beginning, middle, and end, has a climax, has areas where, you know, you're trying to get involved. It has a hook. That's the same way as a set of comedy works, right?
100%, man. And you're out there, you know, doing it. And I think it's like just a cool, it is a very cool thing to have like kindred spirits. And it is funny to me that no matter who you talk to, and I'm glad you finished my thought, every musician I talk to secretly is like, yeah, man, all we watch on the road is comedy specials. And every comedian I know is like, oh, fuck, dude, I wish I was Marcus King. I wish I could lay down. I wish I could play guitar. And some of them try. Some of them bring guitars on stage, and there's ones that are good at it, ones that aren't. But I do think that there's a lot of not every musician is funny, though. I will say that. You guys are funny. Not every musician nails it, but I would say the majority do have good senses of humor. And you guys were awesome to work with. You know, as a comedian, you always had my back, so I always appreciated that.
That was a good time
It
back
was
there on STL
time.
Up Late.
It was good times.
STL Late. I think we did a comedy show with you too at the old Rock House that one time. Funny Funkin' Folks.
Yeah, and you know what? That worked.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting night, man. We did I did a comedy show, then we had music in the middle with you guys and Emily Wallace, and then I did another comedy show to close it out. And sometimes the last thing you want to do as a comic is follow music, because it's so all-encompassing.
Yeah.
It does everything. It scratches all the itches. And now I'm like, all right, you guys have been up, dancing, high energy. Sit down and listen.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, fuck you. I remember I did like a battle of the bands of some dad bands, some punk bands that got back together at the Firebird here in town one year. And they're like, you're going to do 10 minutes between each band for changeover. And these are like punk rock. You know, be like, all right, anyway, I was a grandpa at 36, and I'd like, about the time I'd get the audience to buy in, it'd take me about 10 minutes to get them back. I'd be like, all right, well, give it up for Devil's Asshole. And then it's like, and then like for 30 minutes, they'd melt the audience's face off. They'd be like, all right, go back up there. And I'm like, I don't want to go back up there, man. And I'm like, anyway, you guys remember the thing about Starbucks? That's crazy, huh? Yeah. They write your name on the cup. And it's like, it was just brutal.
Yeah. I can only imagine that. Yeah. I could see the following of such a high energy, and like, basically you just told all the folks like, hey, y'all need to sit the fuck down and listen to what I got to say.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen. I've seen some comedian, you know, Jim Brewer went out with Metallica, and he said by the second night he realized he couldn't do stand-up. He just had to be the hype man for Metallica.
Yeah.
And I saw a dude Dean Del Rey, a friend of mine, opened up for Marcus King, and like he did it the right way though. He kind of hosted the show brought up all the opening acts, didn't really do any comedy, and then right before Marcus went on, when the people had settled into their seats and they had kind of gotten some music and got that itch scratched, he did like his best 7 minutes. He knew that was the runway, and he brought Marcus King up, and I'm like, that's the way you do it. Yeah. That's the way you open for music.
Yeah. Well, now that we know, we'll try it again.
But honestly, it worked for us.
Yeah.
It really worked that night. I didn't have any issues, and the comedy shows went good. The music went good. And I think maybe it's like finding somebody that matches your vibe, too.
Oh, for sure. Well, in funk music, almost, it's a gimme. It lends itself to comedy in so many different ways, right? You know, obviously there's the trope funk music, the bound chicka wow wow, you know, it goes with another genre, right? You know, but funk, the creation of funk, you know, is the whole idea about funk is about freedom, living, living for the tomorrow, you know, it's just fun. Funk, it's sexual, it's loud, it's stank, it's groovy, it's all of these things, and like it's telling a real story about real people and basically just cutting loose and letting loose. And comedy kind of does that in a certain way too. Obviously, comedy comes from from a place where you're finding a funny way to deliver information to people who otherwise may not probably want to be listening to it, right? You don't want to turn on the news and start laughing, right? But you're gonna take current events and things that are happening today in your life, right? And you're going to turn it into a vehicle to deliver it to these people.
I think that's a great point, is that both funk and comedy have a certain amount of lightness to them. They're not trying to get too heavy, right. Even if there might be a heavier message hidden in there. There's a levity. You want to keep it light. You want to keep it happy. And funk also has just a ton of absurdity based in, right? I mean, we write these songs about spaceships and, you know, funk
Space mamas,
coming down on the mama ship, taking a band from Earth to go on a tour of the Gamma Quadrant. And, you know, Parliament did similar things with, you know, Star Child and space stuff and the mothership and whatever, which is a big influence on us, obviously. So, you know, it's got that levity. And that's why, you know, a lot of people want to get their news from something like The Daily Show or Last Week Tonight, because
spoonful of sugar.
Exactly. Especially these days when the news could be a little heavy.
There's also some honesty in there too. You know? Like you get an honest take. You don't get like a partisan take as much as you're like, we're going to say what the funny thing is. We're going to give it to you raw.
Yeah.
Well, the absurdity.
But we're going to make it absurd so it doesn't hurt so bad.
The absurdity in South Park is really great at taking an idea, a concept, and taking it to the nth degree of absurdity. And then you see, by extension, how absurd the original idea in the scale that we have it in the real world is. Like, you know, how people driving around electric cars, they're powered by smugness because they're all so happy with themselves. You know, like just taking it to the next, like when there's an internet shortage and it's like that, you know, it's society breaks down and everybody is like, there's no food or something. You know, these like taking something to the nth degree kind of allows you to see somehow the absurdity of the scale that we deal with. And that's pretty cool.
100%. And that you kind of led me into my kind of the final thing I wanted to talk about, because I don't want to keep you guys here forever, but
I want to stay here forever.
I see a lot of,
I want to be with you.
There is a lot of comedy in your music. And I dig that. Like, but it's like, it's not an amount, it's the perfect blend. Like it still shreds. And it's still like a groove, and it still feels like it's like hype music, you know what I mean? But there's some funny wordplay, and that's the thing that I'm like, you guys are funny writers. There's funny wordplay, and I see a lot of, I'm trying to figure out you touched on it with Parliament Funk, you touched on it with you guys. What is the thing, do you feel like that funk music specifically is tapped into some kind of cosmic jam session? Because I do notice those themes repeat, not just with those two bands, with almost all funk. There is kind of a theme of like bringing in cosmic themes in the universe and things beyond the realm of earthly things.
Yeah. I think so. I'm gonna be fully transparent with you. Deep down inside in my bones, I'm a nerd, right? And I know like the cool. I know.
Gasp.
Yeah, clutch your pearls, because but I grew up with reading comics and cartoons, and like I'm still kind of in that mindset. I never grew out of that, right? But like I've always I was always into Star Wars, got into Star Trek and all those cosmic stuff, and comic books are another way to where the outlandish can be attainable, right?
Right.
And so I think it's funny, in this band we have a lot of individuals who think the same way. Like Pat, I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm gonna tell you that Pat is a nerd too. Pat is a big nerd too. Yeah. So you're sitting, you're in a nerd sandwich, baby.
You're telling me the white bass player is a nerd?
Hey, there's something else too, and I think it's worth touching on. Like, what we do, we don't fully understand it, right? We don't understand why this combination of beats and lyrics and rhythms make people dance. You don't understand necessarily why the combination of the syllables, of the right syllables and the right words and the right sequence and the right rhythm can make someone laugh involuntarily, right?
But you don't have to.
You don't have to, but there's something mystic about it, right? There's something that ties in to the visceral, I don't know, you call it lizard brain, you call it like, whatever, the cavemen banging on two rocks together.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something tying in to the fundamental part of being human, of being an animal, of being whatever, the id, call it whatever you want, that mystic part ties into the rest of the universe. If you really get deep into that, we're all one. Yep. We're all one. We think we're separate, but we're all one. And when we are laughing together at a comedy show or dancing together at a funk performance, we're tying back into that oneness.
It's a primal sensation. And I think, Pat, you always used to say that, like, the very first song in humanity was the heartbeat, basically.
Yeah.
And everyone who's living and breathing has a heart, right?
The oldest song and oldest technology there is the human heart.
That's right. And so, like, music, it doesn't, Rafe, you said that I think comedy is, you say words that make people's heart blood pressure go up and down, right? That's related to the heart. Music has beats, rhythm. Heart is, that's the drum of your body, your soul, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, it makes sense that music, comedy, and all of these things, all these arts come together and they find the linkage, right? But you don't have to understand it. You just know it's there because it's a primal thing that is all ingrained in all of us.
Because it allows you to drop your ego, your sense of self, for just a minute, and just experience what everybody else in the room is experiencing.
What you smoking over there?
I'm smoking this cosmic truth that I got. My boys are spitting at me right now, because I agree with you, man. And I think there's like it's heading towards a singularity. You know what I mean? Like the when you're killing as a comic and we're killing as a band is when you take a group of people who may have almost nothing in common.
Oh yeah.
You turn a crowd into an audience, right? You turn a room full of individuals into a single organism.
Yeah.
Who are reacting in real time on the same vibe, on the same wavelength, whether that's getting involuntary spasm from their diaphragm to laugh out loud. Like when you're really killing it, you may not get everybody, but if you're getting 99% of the room, you're really killing it. And I'm sure music's the same way. If you got everybody up, if everyone's out of the seat, everyone's dancing, everyone surrenders to the moment, that is as close to being plugged in my opinion, to the singularity of the universe that we all came from, that you and Pat are talking about.
Absolutely.
And that's nice to hear that maybe that's why those themes emerge, besides the fact that we're all fucking nerds.
Yeah, and I'll leave you with this one thing too. The thing about Hazard to Your Booty, right, is
to me.
You can look at Hazard to Your Booty and you can literally see all the differences in the band, right? Mm-hmm. We have, I'm a lead singer who came from, a gospel, R&B, hip hop background, right? Pat is a Romanian, Romanian.
I'd love to hear you sing "On My Way to Canaan Land." I just want to put that.
I was trained as a classical pianist.
Up to Canaan Land.
Hit it, boy!
I'm on my way, hey, up to Canaan
Up to Canaan.
It's been a mighty hard day.
Yeah, man. But it's funny, like, you know, Pat, like I said, Pat's a Romanian bass player who picked up, like, he was into prog rock growing up, prog rock and growing up, and you know, and funk and everything.
Fraggle Rock,
yeah, Fraggle Rock. You know, Eric, our drummer, was you know, from Southern Missouri, Springfield. He, you know, grew up on like you know, hillbilly, you know, stuff. You know, and then, you know, we got a whole horn section that was, you know, classically trained, you know, jazz and classical, and then we have a guitarist who was. I went to high school with our guitarist, and he was a goth kid metalhead to the fullest, right? Yeah. And just still, and like, but you can hear that stuff in our music, right? Those pieces, but like, that's another example of how so many come to be one, you know. And I'll just leave you with that, because I think the people are going to want to hear that eventually. And if they come to our show, they're going to understand, like,
oh, they'll get it.
Yeah, like Hazard to You. Like,
your live shows are outstanding.
I mean, you look at Hazard to You, be like, Hazard
it's kind of like you guys are the Guardians of the Galaxy of funk.
100%.
It's a ragtag group.
Thank you for bringing it back.
Together. You know, but in the comic book world, that is like, you know, there's a raccoon that's playing. There's a raccoon that plays alto sax. You didn't even mention him.
No.
There's a lot of crazy stuff in this band, but it's like, it works.
Yeah, man.
And everyone, and it's like all these people from different backgrounds. You're almost a representation of what's happening in the audience.
Absolutely.
Which is sick. And I will say this. I would be wrong if I didn't say this. I'm upset that when we were on STL Up Late, that we had 3 different sets of twins. To get back to your sci-fi, you have a twin.
Yep.
Ben Lyons, my ex-castmate, has a twin.
Yep.
And then Holly, one of our camera people, had an identical twin. 3 identical twins, and we didn't do any sketches where we bent the space-time continuum or where we fucked with the audience.
Oh, my God.
And we had so many opportunities.
That was a miss. That was 100% a miss.
It is one of the biggest regrets in my life.
Oh, man. I feel like there's got to be a way to make that happen somewhere down the road, because
you know what, we're gonna. Yeah. Where the hell is your brother now?
He's in New York. He lives in the Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Yeah.
Is he still making music?
He makes his own music every now and then, but yeah, he's living that New York life. You know, just like just spending money and being in debt.
All right, well, boys, don't do that. That's a good thing about living in the Midwest. This has been awesome. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. I'm going to talk to you guys just for a minute, and then we're going to get into some music. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in 2 shakes with Hazard to You Biddy.
All right.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. It is time. The funk clock has struck midnight. Even Pat heard it. Yeah, baby. And we are about to have a tiny stall concert with the entire Hazard to Your Booty band. But before we do, fellas, tell people where they can find you on Spotify. If people go to Spotify to look at your music right now, what's going to be the top 3 hits? What are we talking here?
Yeah, man. You just, looking up us on Spotify, Hazard to Your Booty. I think the top, I can tell you the number 1 song that our fans love to listen to is called The Tip. Just the Tip.
Just the tip.
Yeah.
Take the tip.
Yeah.
You and I like it.
Yeah. Or if you say just the tip of the title, just the tip, it would just be J.
J. Yeah. It's right on the tip of your tongue.
You're like J.
J. But just the tip. Your Mama's a great one, and our the latest album, Precipice of Human Ability. The Precipice is also one of the funkiest tunes.
The Precipice it was on my, again, I chose it for a reason to be the song that wrapped my comedy special. It's an amazing song. Put it in your playlist right now, and you will groove. You will be driving in your car, and all of a sudden you're just going 90. And you're thinking about driving right past work and starting a new life in New Mexico. It hits that hard.
It does. It does. Like you basically want to move to Santa Fe and just be like, I'm going to become a sculptor for the rest of my life.
Well, I appreciate you guys being here, man. I love you both very much. Give me some more Hazard fingers because I'm about to disappear. The booty is back. And Hazard to Your Booty has been putting in the creative work, writing, recording, turning out a wave of new songs, and wrapping up a full session of studio magic just over this last weekend. They got a hot new single they're about to debut right here called Get the Gurney, and you can listen to this one right now, right, boys?
Yeah.
After you hear it here, you can hear the studio version. It drops this week, and it's so fire, you might need first aid, dude. And if you need CPR through the glory hole, you've come to the right place. And guess what? If you want the full live experience, Hazard will be hitting the stage at the Festival of the Little Hills on August 16th in St. Charles, Missouri. So if you're anywhere in the tri-state area, or you know what? Fuck that. Fly in from Canada. Get your knuckleheads down here and get the funk. But right now, here's Hazard to Your Booty on a Tiny Stall concert performing Get the Gurney.
Here we go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Get the Gurney, because I'm sick. I need to be laid down and strapped to it. Danger to myself and others too. I don't fit into society, don't play by the rule. Sadist, psychotic, Machiavellian, narcissist. Now take off streets from the behind bars. I'm a dangerous disease behind guns and cars. I'll run you over, I'll take your life. I'll give bad advice right to your wife. In bed, sadist, psychotic, Machiavellian, narcissist, not selfish, neurotic, alcoholic, arsonist now. Come on, man, play that horn like you're crazy, baby. Ha, that's what I'm talking about. Ah, there it is. Sadist, psychotic, Machiavellian, narcissist. Now, I'm not the only one to be accused of bad behavior. Because the things that institutions do, they be calling for your savior. They want to tell us what to say, try telling us what to do. When it come on down to, it's up to me and you, and what we choose to do. We can take the rules, or we can collude. So lock me up, go ahead, go away the key. Can't have a man like me out walking free. Well, I'm living for myself and no one else. Gonna make society implode itself. Ha. So get the Gurney, because I'm sick. They done made the rules, I ain't stepped to it. You wanna run my life, I ain't down with that. Gonna take your ass and wear it like a Sunday hat. That's what I said. I said. That's what I said. I said.
Yeah, Daddy. Somebody come pull this funk out of me. It's way up in there.
My eye really did start twitching there for a second.
Oh, that was real.
Yeah, I was having
It
seizures.
was not acting.
That was
The funk, the funk got in me too.
it was a full body twerk.
Yeah, it was. Well,
do it.
I'm ready when you are.
Gimme that.
Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Cause the funk is what I want. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Cause the funk. Well, you can fly in the sky with your head in the clouds. You can scream all you want, don't be afraid to get it loud. Gotta make it loud, do it proud, even if no one's around. Come on, mama, just give me a taste. your funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Cause the funk is what I want. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Got the funk. Well, we can swim in the sea. Don't be afraid to get it wet. And we can send out the vibes, cause the dolphins ain't heard them yet. You got to feel the pressure at the bottom of that mid-Atlantic rift. I said, come on, mama, just give me a taste of your funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Cause the funk is what I want. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Come on, mama, give me some of that funk. Cause the funk is what I want.
I got the funk so deep inside me that I don't know if I could ever get it out. I've never had the funk reach my tonsils by going through my bunghole before, but that just happened live. Ooh. And I hope you enjoyed it. We actually have a second song called Gimme That we're going to release later as they get closer to releasing that song. There's going to be bonus content from Hazard to Your Booty, but you can catch you can go right now, listen to all their songs on Spotify. You can download the new song, this week, fellas?
Yeah.
There you go. By the time you listen to this song should be out or right on the precipice, no pun intended, of coming out. So check that out right now, real quick, fellas. Tell them where they can find you on the socials.
And you can find us at hazardtoyourbooty.com. You can find us on Facebook, Hazard to Your Booty. Spotify, Hazard to Your Booty. Just look us up. Hell, you can even Google us. You can find us. So, we love our fans. We love our music. Reach out to us, man. Check us out. Make sure to be up on all your social media so you can find out what we're playing at next.
That's right. There hasn't been this much Hazard to Your Booty since the P. Diddy parties. And I want you to know that I brought it to you. I had to do it. Guys, it had to happen.
Yeah.
All right? I made it to the end, but it had to happen. So if you're watching, you like the show, be sure, go follow Hazard to Your Booty, but also be sure to like and subscribe and share and leave a positive review on Spotify or Apple or wherever the hell your podcasts are sold. Because, look, this is a weird show. I'm doing a talk show from the shitter. A baby changing station is my desk. I'm not doing a criminal podcast here. Every week, it's different. You know what I mean? This isn't a relationship advice podcast. Some weeks it is. It's really its own thing. I'm the first ever. I'm the pioneer. I'm the Funkadelic ship out in the universe, and the captain's chair is my throne.
The man that no man can ever compare to right here, man. Rafe, RDW.
Preach it.
Raphael Dean.
Love you, Rafe. Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you guys very much.
Appreciate
Make sure Tell your friends. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment below what you think the name should be. And go follow Hazard to Your Booty. Until next time, I'm your host, Rafe Williams. This is the number 2 show. Always, and I do mean always, from the funkiest place in my heart. Always pull your pants down before you poop. And always wipe front to back.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. Deuces.